clean or get prison.
We are the Southwest Enforcement Team. If you kill somebody, we are coming for you. We are going to make sure that you see some prison time.
My bottom line is to protect the public.
It's really not a war on drugs anymore. We're doing the best we can to save lives.
Back now to the story you'll see only here on ABC 57 News. At 5 o'clock, we told you about the new flood of counterfeit pain pills coming into Southwest Michigan, potentially deadly. Now, the effort to keep local communities safe. Here's ABC 57 investigator Kevin Wormholt.
Number one priority is to save lives. We're looking to save lives from drug and gun violence, but also from lives that potentially be lost from fatal drug overdoses.
The Southwest Enforcement Team, also known as SWET, is comprised of 13 partners, including federal agencies, local sheriff offices, and police departments.
We want to meet the specific needs of the community that we're in while simultaneously addressing the larger regional drug threat. Once we build a case here in Michigan, we can present that case to our federal prosecutors, our federal partners in DEA, HSI.
Working with agencies at the federal level makes it easier for investigations to be taken further.
Being able to provide, numbers, phone numbers, potentially even identities of suspects from, it may only be a step or two away from the cartel, that are operating at or near our southwest border, gives our federal partners a chance to go closer to the source and then kind of disrupt the supply.
SWET builds many of its cases through undercover work. Members of SWET buying drugs from dealers, like this video you see here.
When you put an undercover officer on the stand and they can testify that, yes, that person is the one that sold me drugs, this is how much they sold the drugs for, and then now here's the video of us conducting this purchase, that's an airtight case.
Another part of getting drug dealers off the street and drugs out of the communities comes from county prosecutors like Victor Fitz.
Drug activity, it's equal opportunity. In Cass County, we have plenty of individuals who are addicted to drugs, including methamphetamine. It's no longer mom and pop labs that are making the meth. It's drug cartel pipeline from Mexico. They've taken over almost exclusively the manufacturing and the distribution of meth. And that's coming up from South Bend, from Chicago, from Elkhart, and even into Cass County.
For decades now, the United States has been fighting the so-called war on drugs. It's something that both men say doesn't have the meaning it once did.
I think that if we were truly at war with drugs, we would be doing probably more overseas to put positive pressure on some of the nations, some positive pressure on China to stop sending the precursors to Mexico so that the cartels don't have what they need to produce these drugs. Positive pressure on countries like Colombia and obviously Mexico to, lower production of drugs like cocaine, to stop shipping them across our border.
You're never going to stop drug activity, but you have to have a handle on it. I kind of equate a little bit to your yard. If you let it grow out of control, it's going to be a jungle. But if you maintain it, if you have constant vigilance to try to keep it in order, you're going to have a presentable lawn.
Cass County saw an increase around the years of the pandemic when it came to people charged with possession. It got as high as 341 people charged, 213 of them charged with possession of meth.
Part of the challenge is, with the defund the police movement has been devastating to law enforcement in many ways because it makes it more challenging for us to fully man our drug teams and our prosecutor's office. There has been some drug activity that has gone, that continues to occur, but just isn't being prosecuted or being investigated because we don't have the personnel to do that. And that's just the stark reality. And I think the public needs to be aware of that. They need to make sure that there's a focus by their local leaders and their state leaders to make sure that law enforcement is properly funded.
In the end, the message from law enforcement is clear.
We want to make it sure that they know you come to Cass County and you're involved with drugs and with death, that we're going to find you.
If you're a drug dealer that's pushing these lethal substances into our communities, lowering the quality of life for people, causing death, I want you to know that we are the Southwest Enforcement Team. We have a stable full of detectives. If you kill somebody, we are coming for you, and we are going to make sure that you see some prison time for it.
And they have, in fact, been successful. This suspect right here, Larry Harris, was just arrested by Sweat this week after a multi-state investigation. The 37-year-old from Granger, Indiana, was found with 4 ounces of suspected methamphetamine in his car. Then a search warrant at an apartment found more meth, pill presses, 2 ounces of suspected fentanyl, and 2 guns as well.